Warriors, rise. Man, they are all signaling a recession and a crash. But we knew this was coming as Warriors. We knew, and we've been preparing for this for a very, very long time. I'm going to take you through facts, figures, numbers, logic, but a crash is imminent. It's nothing to fear, Warriors. We've been teaching our Warriors, hold the line, don't trip by the dip, and diamond hands. We would love to have you part of our family. Click the description down below. Join our free Discord. Get to know, like, and trust us. Half of my crypto team is in there supporting and helping people get into one side of the location so we can all march up this hill together. Or go jump right in at www.3twarrior.com. All the information you need is down below. Now, who am I? I am Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. I was on my mom's couch 4 years ago after I lost my money for the third time. I realized I was indoctrinated into a system of wealth paradigm that repeated itself over and over again. So I made it my mission to never put myself in that situation again and understand the game so I can't be played. So first, I rewired my subconscious mind to wealth and understanding that every single one of you is free. You've been indoctrinated to work for money versus getting money to work for you. Number two, as I started to create side hustles, I freed up cash flow. I made cash liquid. So I had my main hustle, created a side hustle. With the side hustle, I put it into speculative assets. Richest man in Babylon, when the speculative assets made money, I took that money and I grew the money. And then I slowly and methodically built my way up to financial freedom. Now, as we sit right here, why am I qualified to talk about this? So I'm an ex-banker for 12 years. I understand distributed ledger technology and how it's going to affect the banking system. And I understand now how the elites not only make money, multiply money, but they also protect their money. So I'm diving into it, Warriors. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about business on this channel and showing you guys how I scale an online 7-figure company. I'm about to do my second online 7-figure company. We have 2 5-figure companies, and I will take 2 companies to 10 million this year in my paradigm. Systems and processes, that's it. You give value first. We have thousands and thousands of hours of free information. That's the key, Warriors. Get people to know, like, and trust you, and they can make a decision based on how they feel. You've been sold to for so long, that paradigm is going away. But let's dive into it, Warriors. You came here to learn about cryptocurrency education. But let's talk about this for just a moment. First of all, you need to understand the bilderbergs, how powerful this organization and family is. Okay, there was a meeting. Thank you to you know who sent this to me. Thank you. So there was a 68th Bilderberg meeting to take place on June 2nd through June 5th. So I think today is June 6th. So that meeting has taken place. Washington, D.C., the 68th Bilderberg meeting will take place from January 2nd to the 5th in Washington, D.C. About 120 participants from 21 countries had confirmed their attendance. As ever, a diverse group of political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia, labor, and the media have been invited. The list of participants is available at Bilderberg. We'll go to that in just a moment to see if we can find that. I couldn't find it earlier. So they're going to talk about things like geopolitical realignments, NATO challenges, China, Indo-Pacific realignment, Sino-U.S. tech competition, Russia, continuing of government and economics, disruption in the global financial system. That is a huge conversation. Disinformation, energy and security and sustainability, which you need to pay attention. That's the next narrative. Post-pandemic health, fragmentation of democratic societies, trade and deglobalization, and Ukraine. Okay, now let's see if we can see the list here of some of the people. If you click here, list of top, boom. Let's see if it'll. You can go look at it. Obviously, there's a big list of people. First one that popped out right here. Boom, CEO of Pfizer. Wow, that one just popped into my brain right there. Okay, so we can go through all this. OpenAI, we got Shell, we got White House coordinator, former president of different countries. I mean, it just goes on and on. You can go through the list of people that were there, Warriors. But the key is the disruption in the financial system. Okay, so we know what's happening right now is we had historically low interest rates for a very long time since the 2008 financial collapse. Now, what does that mean? With historical low interest rates, money is very cheap. So the elites borrow money and the wealthy borrow money at a very low cost. They put it into assets to multiply it. So the wealthy people have become much more wealthy since 2008, specifically since 2012. 2020. And the working poor have become much poorer because they use their debt to get buried into a debt-based cycle of things like cars, houses they can't afford, credit cards, going to trips to Disneyland on credit. Okay, so it's just a different type of credit. Wealthy use credit to get rich, and then the poor get credit to make the wealthy wealthier. Does that make sense? Okay, so then with very low interest rates and quantitative easing, money being printed, that money is flowing into the top of the house. That goes into these companies, and they take their wealth ahead. There's been more CEOs retiring in the last 2 years. It's crazy how many CEOs have been cashing out and retiring recently. Okay, so now here's the next narrative. The financial collapse. It's here. There's going to be a financial collapse. It's going to be historical financial collapse. People's 401ks are going to come collapsing back down that are attached to the stock market. Okay. So think about that for just a moment. Companies are going to be struggling to keep their pensions funds going. Those are attached to different investments, right? So unless companies start to move their pensions into, well, some companies are moving their pensions into Bitcoin, things like that. So I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm just here to share with you what's happening. Okay. So this was published on June 5th, a paradigm shift. They're using the word paradigm shift as we do as well, has begun in the market, says Morgan Stanley. TED Pick. Here's what to expect. Global markets are beginning to fundamentally shift after a 15-year defined of low interest rates and cheap corporate debt, according to Morgan Stanley. That's what I was talking about. The markets are starting to shift. The investment strategy has to shift, Warriors. It has to. You can't keep putting money into the same type of investment that you did when interest rates were low. Okay. And money was being printed and money was flowing like water. Your investment strategy has to change. But who gets very wealthy during these times? The banks. When interest rates go up, banks get very, 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 very wealthy. Well, they're doing this on purpose, in my opinion, to flood the money into the banks, to figure out the system, and they're going to flip the system, distributed ledger technology, start moving the money at the speed of light, stabilize interest rates, because if you have an interest rate battle going on when money is moving at the speed of light, it's going to disrupt the whole banking system, okay? So we got recession shock is coming. Bank of America warns. Bank of America warns of a recession shock. So we got Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, okay? We got a major recession coming. Deutsche Bank. All of them are putting this out at the same time. They're like all lock and step. We got April 12th, April 26th. We got June 5th. They're just hammering us out here. It's April, May, June, and it's just a narrative. And it's recession's coming, recession's coming, recession's coming. You can just see the timeline wars. They're all saying that. Okay, BlackRock CEO. When was this? May 24th. BlackRock warns of growing recession risk as Feds fight inflation. Okay, and then there was this was George, and then we missed this one. Then this was on May 31st. The manager of George Soros' fortune says recession is inevitable, but markets might be wrong about how it looks. Okay, so they all have a different opinion, obviously. Now, their job is to put this stuff out there. Let me get a drink. So their clients know, hey, we were warning you guys. There was a recession was imminent, but they're not just sitting back. They're making bold investments. You got companies like BlackRock going out there and buying tons and tons of real estate. Now think about that. I think it's BlackRock or Blackstone, but companies like that, they have pension funds under their umbrella, right? So why do you think they're buying real estate? Why do you think they're buying real estate? They have pension funds in there. They're showing you assets. They're like, we're getting the hell out of these risky, investments that all the public's in. We're going to get into buying a bunch of houses so we can keep these pension funds going, so we can keep our clients. Whereas they're showing you what they're doing. They're buying assets, Bitcoin. They're buying things like Ethereum. They're buying homes. They're getting into watches and fine art and all this stuff. As we as the public sit there in this indoctrinated system in these 401ks that you retire with $1 million at 5% interest, which is $50,000 a year. It's trap, Warriors. It's an absolute trap. And in 3-4 years, almost 4 years, I completely changed my paradigm in my mind. So I will never, I could lose everything physically in the world, but I'll be able to come right back because it's just a paradigm shift, Warriors. And they use the word paradigm. Okay, let me show you with you what's happening with the banking system. You may have seen this before. Let me go real quick. So this is on the Central Banks for Distributed Ledger Technology. This is the World Economic Forum. This was back in 2019, right before the pandemic, right? Warriors, this was already being put in place. You have to understand that. Everybody's like, oh, it's already been in place. They've been working on this for a very long time. Since Bitcoin's inception in 2008, there's been more money printed than in history. Think about that for just a moment. Okay, so if you look at this flower of the money flower, right? You got distributed ledger technology right here, the central bank digital currencies. Right outside of it, you have cryptocurrencies, permission distributed ledger technology. It sits right in the middle here, and it shows all these things are going to be connected. So you have peer-to-peer, you have commodity money, that's going to be, think about how much money is going to flood into these markets, warriors. We've got cash, we got central bank digital currencies, wholesale and retail. Okay, all this money is going to start moving through DLT. That's one thing you need to understand. All this liquidity is going to start running through DLT. Let me repeat that. All this money, central bank digital currencies, wholesale, retail, okay, cash, commodities, and this is all connected, warriors. All connected, okay? The bank deposits are going to be, they're all, that's why they put the flower. It's all connected, widely accessible, digital, central bank issued, peer-to-peer, and you got cryptocurrency DLT. This isn't something they just all of a sudden are coming up with words. They've been sitting there saying, oh, stable coins, stay away from cryptocurrency, stay away from cryptocurrency. And all of a sudden, hey, cryptocurrency's here to stay. Cryptocurrency's here to stay. Recession is imminent. Recession is imminent. You see how it switched? Economy's fine last year. Transitory inflation, no big deal. Cryptocurrency's a fraud. Boom. Recession imminent. Recession imminent. Recession imminent. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. We need to regulate stablecoins. Boom. Collapse Terra Luna. All of a sudden gives them an excuse, a black swan, to go out there and say, see, you need us to regulate this. Are you getting the story here? Okay, so this is back in 2019. This one right here, do I have a date on this one? I do not. This is International Monetary Fund Statistics Department. Okay, this was an older document. That's why I want to show you guys how long they've been working on this stuff. This is nothing new under the sun, warriors. They've been working on this. So if you go to Ripple, Ripple's all over this document, warriors. You go here, the digital asset based on DLT and designed to work as a medium of exchange. Example, BLCAs are Bitcoin, Ether, Ripple XRP, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Stellar, Litecoin. BLCs is often used in reference to all crypto assets. However, in this paper, it is used specifically to mean those crypto assets that are designed to serve as a general purpose medium of exchange to peer-to-peer payments with no issuer or no counterparty liability. In peer-to-peer system, the central party is replaced by a framework of internal protocols that govern the operation of the system and allows verification transactions to be formed by a system participant itself. So it shows you the setup of distributed ledger technology. Okay. World Economic Forum 2019 has DLT in its flower of the money flower, right? You got the Soros Foundation saying a recession's coming, but she started giggling when are you in Bitcoin? Yes, they are. Of course they are. We go back here. Take a look at the meeting. Disruption of global financial system. Warriors, it's here. I mean, it's here. It's not. They're just wondering, hey, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to slowly and methodically move the people into there? Well, you do it through black swan events. You get people to look this way. You change the whole narrative this way. What you do is you separate the middle class, or you knock out the middle class. You have very, very wealthy. You have the working poor, and the working poor just needs to survive, right? They start doing things like giving up their sovereignty in order to eat. I mean, crazy stuff like that. So you are already free. You are already wealthy. You are already healthy. You are already abundant. Your tribe is going to be very, very important. That's what the Warrior Academy is all about. You find your tribe, you find your vibe. But we got something very exciting coming up, Warriors. We're revamping. We're launching in 2 weeks. It's all revamped. We're enhancing it 10 times over. So if you were in the Warrior Academy highly recommend you get back in. We are enhancing it. We are revamping it to have very specific groups and tribes, more deeper connections, warriors. This is all about us rising together. So many resources down below. You got the free Discord. Okay. You got we got tons of stuff down there. You got the free Discord. You can get right into the Warrior Academy if you want to. If you go to my Instagram page, if you click the link in my bio, you can get my free 3-step process on how I built a scale a 7-figure company online, how I'm building another 7-figure company online. I'm giving you the resources for free. So you can take this stuff and implement exactly the same process I did. My goal, my intentions are free as many people as possible from the Just Over Broke, just like I did. I finally changed my mind, and this information is all out there for you. I'm just trying to bring it in one spot to help as many people as possible. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise. Don't miss the freight train, warriors.